So Jason Kelce might be coming back? Stay tuned to learn the details. So yeah, first and foremost, like I said, the former Eagles center and Eagles legend Jason Kelce has always been at like the Eagle Center, working out with them, things of that nature. He still looks to be in pretty decent shape. Obviously, he did lose some weight, but obviously it's easier to gain weight than it is to lose weight. So I'd rather him be a little too light then. But anyways, I think it's like 50-50 comes back in case of like injuries or something like that. Again, Jake Elliott was like the main source. He said that he's been seeing him a lot recently, like around the building. Almost every day, if not every day, because obviously, he doesn't stock them, things of that nature. Patriots and Eagles head coaches, Nick Sirianni and Jared Mayo, respectively, they're trying to figure out a joint practice in the Patriots' home turf. I don't think it's that big a deal, however, because, I don't think it's really going to happen because the Patriots head coach, Jared Mayo, I think he's kind of scared of the Eagles personally because he prefers a single practice due to the fact that the Eagles and the Colts last year kind of got into a bit of a scuffle. So, again, I don't think that's really anything to worry about, but I just thought it was kind of cool. Joint practices, with a different team, those are always interesting because, those, something usually goes down, league-wide when those happen. But yeah, I did miss something whenever Fangio was speaking the other day because I had some stuff going on and I wasn't able to watch every second. So, I arrived just, a couple minutes late to the little live stream or whatever. But I noticed that he also said that practices themselves are going to be tough. I know he said he's going to be tough on the players and hold them more accountable and things of that nature. But he said the practices themselves are going to be tough. So I know comparatively to what Javon Hargrave said about the Eagles practices, this bodes well for the Eagles due to the fact that I don't think they're going to be doing like the soft tackle drills or any of that. Or however, I think, practice is going to be a lot more physically demanding and things of that nature. And, these guys are paid multi-millions. And obviously Bryce Huff, 10 plus million, 15 plus million a year. AJ Brown, I know he plays offense, but I'm pretty sure Kellen Moore is going to be pretty hard on them too as well. So, but strictly defensively speaking, CJ Gardner-Johnson, he's going to hold everyone accountable. His energy, his attitude. That's why I'm super excited to have him back and things of that nature. So far, obviously, there's been like minor complaints or however in the Philly media or however, but y'all know how Philly media is, so I'm not gonna speak too much on that. The next thing is reportedly Britton Covey is in danger of being cut due to Anaya Smith showing out in the little practices they've been having and things of that nature, as well as other players that could potentially play that role as well. He's a pretty good player. I wish him the entire best. I wish we could keep him. I don't know, but obviously it's a business, and I trust how he's gonna do or however. But I just thought I'd let you guys know. But like I said, obviously, I know he's not like Terrell Owens or however the case may be, or like a Hall of Fame or however. But he has produced for us, and he is a good guy, and there's not a lot of bad news about him, and pretty much keeps to himself. He's a good role model, and much respect to him. So the next thing I'd like to talk about is if his spot is safe. Honestly, give it like a 60-40 because again, he hasn't really done anything wrong. Honestly think they waive Kenneth Gainwell before him, but we'll get to that here in a second. Next thing I'd like to talk about is Saquon and everyone's working out really hard. Smitty put out like videos of him. He looks significantly heavier. Maybe 10, 20 pounds heavier. But apparently he's been working out with Chado Ochocinco and whatnot, and he said that he as well put on 20 pounds of muscle as well. And he said, oh, blah, blah, you could tell that boy been working. I'll put it right here so you guys can listen to that. So yeah, the next thing I'll even put like a freeze frame if I have to, or however the case may be on that part. But yeah, the next thing I'd like to talk about is the potential pick city, we can have in Philadelphia. Jeremiah Trotter, he recorded a couple picks just last year. I'm not going to say the entire college career, however, and obviously Cooper DeJean, he had a couple picks, pick six, things of that nature. Quinton Mitchell, he had a couple picks. CJ Gardner-Johnson, he can obviously get picks. And then in terms of tackling, things of that nature, that bodes well too. So, if you don't have to, if hypothetically, if a team can get more picks or however, they don't have to tackle as much. So then, the players, they don't wear down as fast, hypothetically. Again, I'm not an expert or however, but if you could have basically the defensive guy, if he can, catch the ball or however, when he's playing defense good enough, then the guys who have to tackle the linebackers, defensive ends, things of that nature, they don't wear down as fast because they won't be so dependent on that. Obviously, it's good to have, dominant guys at every position, but I'm just, really happy about our safety and cornerback and secondary, unit as a whole. I'm happy with all that in general. Sorry, guys. Like I said, I'm just super excited and, I've got a lot to talk about, things of that nature. Next thing I'd like to talk about is the hard cuts and easy cuts. In terms of post June 1st or however the case may be. Depending on how camp goes, things of that nature, more things that might be released prior to the official, week 1 or however the case may be. Hard cuts, Maddox, Covey, Mario Goodrich, and Darius Slay. I'm going to start off with Slay. I love Slay. You know what I'm saying? But he is, 33, 34, about to be 35, something like that. He said himself he doesn't really want to tackle out of, preserving his health and things of that nature. I'll go ahead and put that right there. And plus, he said the whole missed tackle thing, or however, about the hip drop tackle ban. And again, I really respect Slay, so I'm not gonna you know what I'm saying. I'm not gonna go really emotional about it, but to say the least, you know what I'm saying. Anytime the team loses, all he says is, "Oh, I played good," and then I'm like, stat padding, because he doesn't want to tackle, and he's not good at tackling, and he can't get picks. And in my opinion, at that position, you have to be athletic. You have to be able to keep up with wide receivers, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Running backs, or whoever comes your way. You know what I'm saying? So he can't keep up with players or however. So if he can't get picks and he can't tackle, then he's not worth $10 million. Again, as a person, I like Darius Slay. I respect the guy. I follow him on Instagram or however. I respect him or however. But as a Philly fan, I love my Eagles. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Hurts needs his ring. Saquon Barkley needs his ring. AJ Brown needs his ring. And him being too slow, can't keep up, can't tackle, can't get interceptions. And I know interceptions are not everything. They're not. But if you can't tackle, then you better be able to get picks at that position. It's basically same thing at linebacker. If you're a linebacker, you either got to be able to tackle. I understand not everybody's Ray Lewis, not everybody's going to be primetime Deion Sanders. Absolutely. Not there's levels to it. There's there's rookie or however. Some people stay at that level. They look pretty good. Have some flashes or however. Some people stay like that. And then you got star people. Who show glimpses every game instead of once a game or twice a game. They have stretches of 2 or 3 games here and there. However, and then you have star chokers. You know what I'm saying? Who do only good in the regular season. And you know what I'm saying? Kirk Cousins, Dak Prescott, etc. You know what I'm saying? And then you have superstars, you know what I'm saying, who can get you a ring or two, you know what I'm saying? And you have generational talents. Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Joe Montana, the list goes on. Obviously there's more levels or however, but those the the main ones or however. Jalen Hurts, we got to see a bigger sample size. He has multiple coordinators. Again, just because I'm an Eagles fan, I'm not going to say, oh, the Eagles are going to win it every year and, oh, our team's the best just because we're the Eagles and our quarterback's the best in the league just because he has the Eagle on his jersey. I believe, fair is fair and right is right. I just love my Eagles, and that's the team I go for. That being said, I believe the easy cuts, in terms of Maddox and Covey, I respect them and whatnot. I'm sorry. It's just, I'm new to this, and I'm figuring it all out. I just love my Eagles, and you know what I'm saying, my mind, But, yeah, in terms of Maddox, Britton Covey, Mario Goodrich, again, I full love and respect for him, even Slay. I don't dislike Slay or however, but in terms of starting quarterback or however, no. Corner. They sound like corner. So they sound like. Anyways, in terms of being the starting cornerback, no. He's too old. I'm sorry. Put him on the bench, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying? He restructure his contract or something like that. Because, I mean, as an Eagles fan, the average Eagles fan, comment down below. Comment down below. Would you rather have DeJean and Quinion and then Reed Blankenship, who's been a pretty stable tackler, and then C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and then, Isaiah Rodgers or something like that, or however, as like the other guy back there? You know what I'm saying? All young, you know what I'm saying, for the most part. And then obviously, save money by cutting Bradbury, things of that nature. I think it's like 7.1 mil or 7.5 mil you'd save, or however, by cutting Bradbury post June 1st cut. But yeah, if anything, if the Eagles want him that bad, just restructure his contract, $2 or $3 million. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, start Quinion, start Cooper DeJean, Isaiah Rodgers, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Reed Blankenship. You know what I'm saying? Because 33 at the corner is old. I'd rather him leave on good terms and us still love him or however, like, oh, dang, than like him leave on bad terms, however, and us hate him. Because as a player, I love him, wish him the best. You know what I'm saying? But us trying to win a ring now, we need more than a 33, 34-year-old cornerback who can't get interceptions, can't tackle, and can't cover, and can't keep up with top wide receivers. Tyreek Hill's a threat. Odell Beckham is a threat. I'm not saying the biggest threat, the biggest thing of all time or however, but they are threats. They are. Justin Jefferson, that's a threat. Xavier Worthy, that's a threat. Xavier Legette, that's a threat. Those are going to be people that he's going to have to potentially go up against. And I'd rather have 23, 24-year-olds figuring it out while our offense blows them out. Either way, the young defensive guys need to develop, and they need to develop ASAP. Maybe not throw Cooper DeJean at a million different positions right away, or however, like this year, let him play cornerback. Next year, let him play safety or something like that, or however the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So, the last thing I'd like to talk about to close out today, to close out the episode, is this roster this year? And you guys can comment down below, or however, to any of my questions, any of the topics I talk about, or any of the news, or however the case may be. But yeah, is the roster this year simply better than the roster last year? 10-1, collapse, yada yada yada. Yeah, and y'all's opinion. So comment down below or however. But in my opinion, absolutely. Defensively, Vic Fangio is an absolute upgrade from Matt Patricia, the pencil boy, and Sean Desai. Absolutely. It's not some bootleg or however, some cheap copy. This guy that actually made the scheme, who can adjust to it. 20 years of experience. If he was that bad of a coach, people would have stopped giving him jobs, or however the case may be. Because failed coaches, they get 1 or 2 jobs and then they go back to college, or they retire, or however the case may be. That's happens to actual bum coaches. But obviously, he's an old school coach. Some people want to do things their way, yada yada yada. And if their talents aren't used the way they want to, then it's a bad coach and all that. It's what happens to the old school guys. Again, just like I said in one of my previous videos. In my lifetime, again, I'm not old. I'm not trying to say I know everything or however, but in my lifetime, the coaching staff or however, they're getting younger and younger. Because when I was a kid, they're all like gray and gray beards and all that. Some of them, most of them are bald, however, but now a lot of them are like 25, 20, 26, barely in their 30s, things of that nature, however. So the coaching's getting a heck of a lot younger. And then things of that nature. And obviously, personnel-wise, in terms of the roster, did it get better or not? Like I said, we got C.J. Gardner-Johnson back, Bryce Huff, we got him. Obviously, we lost Hassan Reddick, but apparently he was chasing sacks, or however the case may be. And on some of the plays, looking back at it, I did do my research. It's like, dang, it's kind of hard to deny, or however, because the guy who actually had the ball, you could just tell he was just, quarterback hunting, just trying to get the sack, Wish him the best. I'm not going to say, oh, he's garbage just because he left us, or however. I wish him the absolute best, or however. But on some occasions, I mean, it's hard for me to argue, because I defended him on a lot of them, because it was like a 10 or 11 minute video, or however, breaking it down, and it had 10 or 15 examples, and there was only there's 7 or 8 of them, or however that I disagreed, but there was 4 or 5 of them. There was a couple of them, like I said, there's a couple few, however you want to word it, that I was like, oh dang, that does it's kind of hard to argue on that. But yeah, again, Jamari Trotter Jr., Cooper DeJean, the Flying Frenchman. Obviously Quinion Mitchell, the best ranked corner, and then Jalex Hunt. I think he's going to be a beast. That was Fangio's favorite player. And obviously the reason why I'm mentioning defense first is because in my opinion that was our last, like that was my most worry, or however, like thinking we got to improve so much. Obviously still questions at linebacker, but obviously we still signed Devin White, Trotter. We got him in the draft, things of that nature. I believe he learned a lot from his dad, and I believe all that bodes well. And on the offensive side, obviously we at least, I'll be humble. I'm not going to say, oh, we got the best running back. Blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not going to say that. Chris McCaffrey, hate to say it. I'm an Eagles fan, but I'm not delusional either. Again, just because the guy's an Eagle doesn't mean I'm just going to automatically, you know what I'm saying, say he's better. You know, we have a top 10 quarterback. I have Jalen Hurts at number 8. You know what I'm saying, on the offensive side. And then obviously at least a top 10 running back. Being completely humble, I have him at number 5. No good O-line, you know what I'm saying? Mediocre quarterback, mediocre wide receivers. Pretty much all it was just him. I think that's fair. I have him at number 5. But bare minimum, he's top 10 in the league. You can't, you can hate the Eagles, you know what I'm saying, or however, or you may not like Saquon personally, but you can't name accurately more than 10 people that are better than him. You can't. Worst case scenario, you have him at number 9 or number 8 or however the case may be. And then obviously Saquon and AJ, that they're locked down or however. And like I said, AJ Brown, he's been working his tail off this offseason. And then Devontae Smith, he put on 20 pounds of muscle working out with Chad Ochocinco, things of that nature. So Dallas Goedert, CJ Uzomah. I mean, we have a solid tight end core. Obviously, I know CJ Uzomah's 31, but in terms of just this year, from last year to this year, not in terms of all time or how good are we for the future, but just this year alone, title chances, do we look better than last year? Absolutely. Tight end core is decently solid. CJ Uzomah, he's a solid rotational tight end. He can catch. He can still run. He's not washed up yet. Obviously, he's not a Hall of Fame or nothing like that or however, but he's decent. He's a respectable player. He's like, heck yeah, he caught his catches, got a couple cool touchdowns, he's pretty healthy for the most part. He's that type of player you could say that about. And obviously Will Shipley, Johnny Wilson, he's a beast. He's like 6'7", 220, 230. He did look a little clumsier, however, but I mean, nobody's perfect. I mean, quarterbacks miss passes early in the season. You just got to warm up, rookie jitters. I haven't been in that position, so again, I'm not going to be too harsh, things of that nature. But yeah, much love to all the Eagles. I love all my Eagles. I wish them all the best. But I think that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, if comment any disagreements, agreements, or however, I'll reply to them as fast as I can. If you're interested in joining the Philly family, it's free. Just subscribe, press the little naughty bell so you can be in the loop for all my newest content, takes, things of that nature. And eventually I'll go live once I get, up there, however. But yeah, much love, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Philly out. Peace.